Obviously, guys, we're here with another main event preview. This time, joining us now is Miguel Navarro. He is a training partner of Ilia Topuria, has helped him prepare for his upcoming fight at UFC 308 against Max Holloway. We're here to talk about that a little bit. But first of all, man, how are you? How's life in Spain for you? Good?
Good, life is good, yeah. Everything is good, yeah.
Cold weather yet or no?
No, super good, super
Good.
hot. It's perfect.
That's the good
Depends
thing
now.
about Spain, right? It doesn't get too cold, too hot.
No, depends. Now I'm in the south of Spain, so here is very good. Yeah,
It's
I'm in
good to hear.
Alicante. I don't know if you know where. It's from where Ilia's from, Alicante.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, and here it's
Absolutely.
perfect. Perfect. You have the beach. You have all the year like good weather. It's perfect.
Alicante is where the gym is as well, right?
Yeah, Climent Club. Yeah.
It's because I wanted to ask you about that, right? I mean, your gym has now what, a UFC world champion, BKFC world champion recently with Tenaglia winning, right? I mean, what is going on over there at Climent Club, right? You guys are starting to make a name for yourselves in combat sports. Is there something special in that gym? Something's happening there, right?
Yeah, it's crazy here. It's crazy. It's everything is growing so fast, and we have lots of fighters, not just Ilia or Franco. Lot of them are growing. So yeah, now it's perfect here. I mean I think the coaches are the key of everything. I
I would
think
say, yeah, I would say in an even more general sense, right? Combat sports as a whole is growing in Spain, right? I mean, as someone who was born in Spain myself, I can't help but feel excited. Do you think that's true? Have you seen combat sports grow in Spain over the last several years?
yeah, it's growing super fast in the last couple of years. It's crazy. Since Ilia joined the UFC, it's crazy. I mean, every gym and the media, everything is growing so fast, so fast. And now it's very good, but I think the better is coming in the next few years.
Yeah, it feels like it's only just getting started, right? Like it's
Yeah,
only going
it's
to
better.
grow from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need some like a role model like Ilia, and now we have them. So a lot of young kids are starting the sport, and honestly, I think the best is coming.
How do you think a UFC event in Spain would be? Maybe Santiago Bernabeu, Ilia in the main event. Like, how big do you think that would be for the country? Because you talk about it can get bigger, right? Maybe
Yeah,
that's what it needs to get bigger.
I think it will be huge. Um, what I heard is they are in conversation for 2025.
Okay,
Uh,
that'd be cool.
yeah, Bernabeu is what Ilia's looking for. Bernabeu, yeah, yeah.
I watched. It's funny because speaking of Ilia, now we're gonna dive into this fight a little bit here. Don't want to take up too much of your time, of course. I
No,
watched the
what, bro?
Yeah, I watched a face-to-face interview with Ilia and Max, right? They had that interview again. Right at the beginning, we see the video where Ilia is saying that he was a fan of Max coming up, right? He called him a great example for the new generation. So, I mean, despite anything, right? Any trash talk, I mean, I would say there's definitely some respect between two fighters like these, right? Like, I know Ilia's criticized some of his work, but he definitely knows Max is a good fighter. He definitely respects Max as a fighter, right?
Of course, of course. How you cannot respect Max Holloway?
Right. Yeah.
He like such a legend in the sport. You cannot disrespect that man.
No,
I
definitely
mean,
not.
obviously, he's selling the fight. He likes to talk. He likes to make the fights bigger. But obviously, he respects Max Holloway. How you cannot respect Max Holloway?
Oh, 100%. I mean, if there's any fighter that doesn't respect Max Holloway, I'd love to know why. I mean, he's a very commendable stand-up guy, right? Speaking
Yeah,
of how good Max Holloway is, right? Let's talk about Max a little bit, not just Ilia, because we do want to be fair here. Through the eyes of an MMA fighter, right? Through your eyes, my friend, right? What makes a guy like Max Holloway so dangerous? Like, what do you see in there?
I think first of all, he has like the biggest experience you can have in the game. He has been in title fights so many times, main events so many times, and he's a legend. But not only that, of course, I think his biggest his keys, what he makes his opponents broke mentally is like he has very good volume.
Yep.
He has like great movement. He has um yeah, he has crazy cardio. So maybe in the first rounds fight can be like more equal, but when the time is going down, he's bigger and bigger and bigger. So I think that are his keys. And of course, he never gets knocked out. It's crazy. It's crazy. He can take many punches, many. But I think he never faced someone like Ilia. He represents the new generation of MMA, and that's for sure, for sure. And I
Yeah,
think people will be surprised.
I keep hearing him say that, right? He represents a
Yeah,
new
that's true.
generation of MMA. That's what I heard Ilia say too, that he's representing a new generation of MMA. What do you think that means exactly?
I mean, he's such a high level athlete in every part of the game. He's like great wrestler, honestly. I know in the UFC he didn't show that much, but he's great wrestler, great grappler, great striker. He has crazy knockout power. He has very good fight IQ. He has good mentality. He has good physique. So he's perfect in every part of the game. And he never showed any, I don't know how to say, like every test he had, he passed it.
He's
Like perfect.
resilient. Yep, yep.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So what I think is Ilia is gonna be too much for Max. That's
Now we
what I think.
spoke, yeah. Now we spoke about someone like like Max Holloway, right? Let me ask you about Ilia now, right? I think something that makes him really good, and I mean, what do I know, right? I don't know him like you. I'm sure you know him quite well, but he looks like he's a very confident guy, right? And that ends up showing up in his fights. Like he says he's gonna do something, a lot of times he does it. What do you think makes him so confident mentally? And was he always like that?
Yeah, he's always like that. That's not like a role or something. Like personal treatment, he's like that, and I think even more than in the interviews, even more.
Mm,
So if you know all his people, everyone thinks like him. Everyone doesn't have like piece of doubt, any piece of doubt. So
wow, interesting.
yeah, I think he just molds everyone. I mean, training, he molds everyone. A lot of I I don't want to say the names, but lots of high level people came to the gym, and trust me, he molds everyone. I talk about very high level UFC fighters.
I don't deny. I mean, you talk about a guy who just beat Volkanovski the way he did. I can't say anything. I can't say anything.
Yeah.
I believe you. I believe you. Um,
No, that's true, bro. That's true.
as he said himself, Ilya said his confidence comes from all the work he puts in. How hard does a guy like that work behind the scenes? He's not lying, right? He works hard, no?
He works super hard, super, and not just hard. He works smart,
Mm,
very smart. That's the key. Everyone can work hard, but
that's
not
the key,
everyone
huh?
can work that smart. He has great team behind him. So not
Right.
just hard. Obviously, super hard, super hard.
So you talk about he has a great team behind him. I mean, obviously you're helping him. You're helping him with this fight. How much have you been able to work with him during this camp?
I've been now he's not in Alicante. Now he's living in Madrid.
Mm.
So I travel to train with him. I mean, I'm like 3 4 hours of driving.
Oh wow.
Uh, I've been there 3 different times. First time I was 2 weeks. Last time I was 3 days, and the other time 3 days too. Yeah, good. Yeah, I've been there 3 times these last 2 months, and we sparred. We did some technique, we did drills, everything. And for me, obviously, it's a blessing to be able to train with the best guy in the world because we've been telling that he's the best guy in the world many years ago, but now he's the best in the world. He has the belt.
Right, right.
I want to say
So,
something. I want to say something. English is not my first language, so
oh, you sound great, man. Come on.
yeah, I sound great. Okay, thank you, bro.
Yeah, you sound good, man. Come on. One day when we see you in the UFC, you'll have the English and Spanish, so you'll be good to go, right?
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So let's talk about the fight, the matchup. Everyone talks about how the fight's going to be standing, right? I love how you sort of just gave a little preview to this because I wanted to ask you. You said Ilia Topuria's wrestling is good, right? Nobody's talking about the grappling aspect of this fight, but Ilia Topuria has some very high level grappling, at least from what I've seen briefly. I'm sure you know because you see him behind the scenes. Do you see this fight, or rather, I should say, how do you see this fight going if it were to be in the grappling? Do you think he just runs through him? If it's grappling, wrestling?
100%, 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he's better in every part of the game. I think he's like more bet. Like the difference is bigger in the grappling and in the wrestling, but I think striking. Honestly, I think he's much better than Max Holloway. And yeah, yeah, yeah. He can take him down. He can submit him. He can knock him out. He can outpoint him. So Yeah, I know in the UFC he didn't show that too much, but before the UFC, I think he had like 7 fights, like 5, 6 submissions, something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
he was a grappler before he is a striker now. I
Sure.
mean, he started with wrestling, then he learned jiu-jitsu, and the last thing he mastered, I mean, is the striking. So yeah, all his background comes from the grappling.
You're saying that you think there's a gap between their striking, right? Max Holloway says he's the best boxer in the UFC. Ilia Topuria has some of the best boxing that I've seen. Like that guy's sharp, man.
Yeah, I
Do
don't
you
think.
think these are the two best boxers in the UFC? Both of
Yeah,
them? Do you think they
absolutely.
are?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are both the best, but I think Ilia is better. I mean,
Right. Right.
I mean,
Figured.
we have to see how the fight goes,
Is
but
Max two though?
I don't think so. I don't, Dustin Poirier, like,
Is he close to being one of the best boxers in the UFC?
yeah, in my opinion, yeah, he's one of the best. Yeah,
Sure.
he's
You
one of
just
the best.
wouldn't put him like top five.
Yeah. Top five, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So
But
you would.
but Dustin Poirier in their fight, he outboxed Max.
He did.
Yeah, Volkanovski in the third fight, he outboxed Max.
Yeah.
And I think Ilia is gonna outbox him now.
Okay. Ilia says, speaking of that, my friend, Ilia says he will be the first guy to knock Max Holloway out. I mean, is that something you definitely see happening? Because we know Max Holloway has he has a good chin. He's got a steel chin, right? But do you see him getting knocked out in this fight?
Yeah. With Ilia, I can see that. Honestly, I can see the fight going to a decision or ending with a submission or TKO, but I can see Ilia knocking out Max with one punch. I can see it, yeah, of course. Yeah. He's super dangerous, not just in the head. He has like the hook to the body, like kills you. He hits you with that, he kills you.
Let me
So
ask you
yeah,
this, for sure. Let me ask you this. And I didn't say this, so don't kill me, right? But Henry Cejudo says if Ilia Topuria cannot knock Max Holloway out like he does to everyone else, then he could be in trouble. He's not saying that Ilia's not going to win, but he's saying if Ilia doesn't knock Max out and they're still there in the later rounds, he could be in trouble. As someone like you who trains with Ilia Topuria, give me your opinion on that. Is that accurate? Is that false? What do you think about that?
yeah. I mean, they are the best in the world. I mean, it's the most high level fight you can have.
Anything can happen. 4-ounce
Yeah,
gloves, two
yeah,
great fighters. I'm with you.
happen. Yeah. But I don't think that I don't know how to say this in English very good, but when the time goes, like I don't think the third, fourth, fifth round are gonna be much worse for Ilia than the first two. I
Okay.
think it can be the same. I mean, he knows he's not just a one punch guy. He can outbox him. He can take him down. He can submit him. So I don't believe in that.
And you're
Obviously,
implying his cardio is good too, right? Because you got to have good cardio for that. How is his cardio?
perfect, bro. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, honestly, it's perfect. Yeah. Very good. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, right? When you think about the fight, right? Do you see more of a finish here? Or do you see it going to a decision? Because you seem to be a little bit hesitant on it. How do you see it going?
No, I see a finish, of course.
Okay.
I see a finish. Yeah. I see a finish. I think he can. He's a master, like cutting the distance. He's so good, so good. I know Max is good with his footwork and moving. He's so good. That's true. But I can see a finish. Yeah, I can see a knockout, of course.
Max goes to the middle of the cage and he goes like this. Does
Uh,
Ilia? He doesn't do that, does he? Is he gonna do that? Is he gonna entertain it? What do you think would happen if that were?
Ilia or Max?
If Max goes to the center of the cage and points and he
Yeah,
goes,
of
"Let's
course.
throw down," he'll do it. Because Ilia
Yeah,
seems like because you said he's a smart fighter, right? So I'm curious what he would do it or not. Maybe that
but
wouldn't be the smart
I
thing.
think that exchanges are better for Ilia than for Max.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think Ilia has like the most powerful hand I ever feel, like by far. So that type of exchanges, I think, are much better for Ilia than for Max. And he said in an interview that in the first 10 seconds of the fight, he's gonna go like this and stay in the middle, and that's true. He's gonna do it for sure. Like not just for the interview. That's his plan. Go to in the 10 second first 10 seconds of the fight goes like this and let's see
Wow.
what Max is gonna do. I mean, he's the BMF. He has to go.
Ilia seems to be the BMF champion in his own mind, right? Do you
Yeah.
think the belt should be on the line here?
I don't know. I don't think that that belt is like so important. I mean, he's the
Sure.
champion of the world. BMF. Like, if you are the world champion, BMF. If it's
Right.
there, it's good. If not, it's good too. But if he put a beating on the BMF, who is the BMF?
One more thing I didn't talk about, actually. We talk about the gym, right? Your coaches that you just brought up. I mean, those guys have to deserve some credit, right, for what they've done with
Oh,
Ilia. What's it like with working with those guys? Like, how are they as coaches, and how have they been able to help you guys as a gym grow?
yeah, they are like the best coaches you can have. They are perfect. And yeah, they help us a lot, bro, a lot. And not just with the techniques and with like what normally a coach does. They have like their own promotion, and it's growing super fast. And they are not just giving us the techniques. They give us a place to shine, you know.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, we'll wrap it up there, my friend. I appreciate the time. Thanks for the insight. Guys, you can check out Ilia Topuria at UFC 308 on October 26th. But thanks again, man. All the best to you and your team going forward.
Thank you, bro.